speaking of just crazy crap, and I want to correlate this to the gas prices, you have Biden's top official warning the public that there's going to be basically a resurgence of COVID-19 in the fall, and basically preparing people for the possibility of the worst. And when I read you some of the things that these scientists, I'm putting them in quotes, are saying about this new variant, it's quite astonishing because they have no evidence, but they're going to still spew all this stuff. So we'll get there in a moment. But as most Americans are moving past this pandemic, you had President Joe Biden's top official being chauffeured out, sounding the alarm yesterday, a couple days ago. I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, that existing or new variants of COVID may resurge toward the end of this year. Quote, come this fall and winter. Most everyone who is an expert on pandemics and these viruses will tell you that there's a strong chance we will see a resurgence on the virus, whether it's the variants that we have now or the new variants. I mean, who are you talking about? Anthony Fauci that nobody believes anymore? I'll tell you what, Senator. I'll tell you what. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a damn idea what you are talking about. The viruses, Anthony Fauci, he's going to say whatever he can to get an extra buck, the highest paid government official. I get pissed with Karine Jean-Pierre making $180,000 to manipulate data and lie to our faces. He gets paid more than the president, I believe. Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine Joe Biden? What is it, $400,000 now for the president a year? Joe Biden? God. That's how great our country is, man. You can make $20 an hour scooping food onto a plate. You can be president of the United States and not have your brain work. You could be the White House press secretary and lie and spin things every single day with no consequences and still get a paycheck like that every 2 weeks. I believe governments get paid every month, but you know what I mean. It's freaking ridiculous. So he's saying that we got to be ready for this. Now, Becerra, who listed ending the pandemic as his top priority when appointed to the position, renewed the public health emergency orders on April 12th for another 90 days with an expiration date of July 15th, which is going to happen by the end of the week. While Bloomberg News reported on Monday that the Biden administration would push the COVID emergency health orders back, since HHS did not issue a 60-day notice that states since the last renewal, which the department pledged to do if it decided to terminate the orders. Since he took his position shortly after Biden assumed office last year, Becerra has extended the public health emergency orders 5 freaking times. They're going to hold on to this, you guys. They're going to hold on to it. And notice that it's coming this fall. Do you remember what happens this fall? It's a thing called midterm elections. So you got that coming up. Look at Twitter users flooded the tweet with comments saying the so-called resurgence would rise from the midterm variant. As Becerra hinted, the spike could happen around 2022 midterm elections in November. How convenient. How convenient. All of a sudden you shut things down. Mask mandates, can't go to the polls. Oh, we had to ship you 5 ballots again. How'd that happen? That's weird. Becerra's COVID concerns emerged the same day legacy media circulated reports of scientists warning Americans of new coronavirus mutant spreading in India and other countries, including the United States. Check this out. This is such a crazy statement. So the Associated Press reported that scientists said the new variant, quote, may stand against immunity, previous infections, and vaccines. However, the effects of the mutation remain unclear. So they're going to say all these outlandish things. May stand against immunity, previous infections, and vaccines. Like, everything we did is not going to work. Everybody's going to be sick again. We're going to go down the drain once again. But hey, oil companies, make sure that you take a hit right now, because when we shut everything down coming this November for the midterm elections, you're going to lose billions again. And that's okay, because that's our agenda. We want you to lose billions because we don't like OPEC, because we're the Democrat Party. We want you obsolete. And then, the fact that they're saying that the immunity, previous infections, and vaccines may not work and have no effect, and it remains unclear. They're basically going to espouse a bunch of stuff and create a bunch of fear mongering on data that they don't even have. They're just guessing. It's so crazy. It's still really early for us to draw too many conclusions. This comes from the director of clinical virology at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. But it does look like, especially in India, the rates of transmission are showing kind of that exponential increase. I don't know what he means by kind of. It either is or isn't exponential. So I don't have the picture in front of me, but it's just astonishing that they're going to push this stuff. Be like, yeah, how can I put it? I want to make a correlation here. It's like AOC with her Green New Deal saying the world's going to end in 10 years, and it doesn't end because she doesn't have any data and she just espouses a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense. And so nothing happens. And then, they get away with this. Like, what? Well, you're all gonna die. Like, sir, we have a 99.9% rate of survival. Lock everything down. Don't touch one another. This thing's gonna kill everybody. It's like, no, it's not. I mean, you're literally have a 0.01% chance of dying for most people. But that's the type of fear mongering they're going to push because they want power. They want control. That's everything the Democrat Party wants. Now, speaking of power and control, I have a feeling here on this next story that Joe Biden is in the pockets of China and the pockets of the media. Somebody has control of this man, because the amount of information that we have on Hunter Biden, and it's continually coming out. I mean, his iCloud server was just hacked, and it's nothing but naked pictures, him doing drugs, like snorting cocaine off a freaking prostitute's ass crack, and nothing. No, the media's like, oh, it's normal, it's fine. No, it's just Hunter Biden doing his thing again. But like Trump shakes a little bit with a water glass, and they lose their minds over it. That was a real story, if you guys recall. Donald Trump just was taking a sip of water and his hand was shaking slightly. And it was all this whole thing. He needs to be evaluated. His mind isn't clear. We need to get him checked. Do people know what's going on with the president? He's insane. You have Joe Biden falling upstairs, hitting a golf ball backwards, falling off his bike when he's stationary, fighting with his teleprompter, repeat the line, like on a note card telling him to sit down. All these things that have been public. Oh, it's normal. He's just old man. He's just 79. Look what he can do. He's just amazing. Like Joy Behar. He told me that he works out every day. The guy could barely pick up his feet. What do you mean working out? They literally put his bicycle in the back of the SUV and drove him from the White House to a specific place behind a tree line so that he could just bike ride 50 yards and then fall over. And nobody's going to cover any of this. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.